Velsura. That time I got sent back in time as a slime, by Lobotomiskii. Chapter 11 The Conference 3rd Pov. Now you will all serve me. Consider this the highest of honors, kua ha ha ha. In their confusion and bewilderment, a large portion of the lizardman troop submits themselves to Veldora. The blue-haired ogre, who has been watching the entire situation unfold from the shadows, sputters in bafflement at how utterly insane this interaction is. Why, you bastard? Don't think such parlor tricks could fool me, lowly human. Gabiru regains his composure, and continues in a smug, yet flustered manner. I am the future chieftain of the lizardmen, and I have graced you with an offer of protection. Is this how you treat the hero who will save the Jura forest? Gabiru once again strikes a pose, this time pointing a finger accusingly at Veldora. Kua ha ha ha. A lowly lizardman dares to insult I, Rimuru Tempest? Veldora mocks. I respect your spirit, little one, so I offer a deal. Gabiru glares at Veldora indignantly, but decides to listen to what he has to say. I propose a duel. The loser submits to the winner, Veldora announces, looking proud of himself for coming up with such a genius idea. Huh? A duel you say? Gabiru inquires. All right, I accept, but don't come begging for forgiveness after you lose. Veldora responds by flashing a grin. Kua ha ha ha. Then let the duel begin. Underscore. Gabiru POV. This insolent human. He thinks he can challenge me to a fight, but he doesn't even emit a shred of aura. I take out my spear, and point it towards this foolish being in front of me. Hear me, goblins. After I defeat your master, who has enslaved you, I will make you all my esteemed subordinates. Kua ha ha ha. Don't go boasting about your victory before the fight has even begun, boy. TCH. How arrogant, thinking that he even stands a chance against me, the strongest warrior of the lizardman tribe. The human stands his ground, not moving an inch, so I decided to take the initiative and show him his place. I leap into the air gracefully, the tip of my spear not wavering from its target, before I thrust it towards the unmoving human. HMPH. Even though you are an insolent human, I, Gabiru, shall grant you mercy in the form of a quick and painless death. The human does not even react as the spear comes soaring towards his face, likely unable to even register the blistering speed at which I have thrown it. But the spear doesn't reach its target. At a speed faster than I can even witness, the human grabs the spear's tip, and crushes the metal blade in his hand. Kua ha ha ha. Let me say this again. I am Rimuru Tempest, future emperor of the Jura Tempest Empire. Mere lizardmen can never hope to compare to my power. He boasts arrogantly while releasing an immense aura. No way. This is the aura of a high-level Majin like Gelmad Sama. The pressure forces me onto the ground in a sprawled position. Humiliating, for sure, but that's the least of my worries right now. I am struggling to even remain conscious. Damn it, I shouldn't have underestimated him like that. Emotions begin to swell up within me as I lament my foolishness, having challenged a being far beyond my capabilities. But before I can come to terms with my inevitable death, the unknown Majin stops releasing their aura. Very well. I declare myself the winner of this duel, and as agreed upon, you are all now my subordinates. Kua ha ha ha. Underscore. 2 hours later. Veldora Pov. Very well. I declare myself the winner of this duel, and as agreed upon, you are all now my subordinates. Kua ha ha ha. I had just beat Gabiru the lizardman in a duel, and by our agreed terms, he is now my subordinate. Kua ha ha ha. The Jura Tempest Empire expands its territory once again. Fine. Gabiru groans. As agreed upon, I am now your subordinate. Gabiru trembles as he speaks. He seems reluctant to be subordinated, but this situation leaves him no other choice than to agree or be killed. Of course, the great and merciful Veldora Tempest would not do such a thing. Rimuru taught me that lesson many times. Kua ha ha. Ha. However, before I can properly enjoy my victory, I am yet again interrupted. How dare you so haughtily perturb the great storm dragon while he is internally monologuing? Rimuru dono. Now that the lizardmen are here, I think it would be good to conduct a meeting to discuss the peril that faces us. No? The blue-haired ogre speaks up, ignoring both mine and Gabiru's glares. You're that ogre that defiled the lizardmen's territory. Gabiru accuses the ogre in anger. UHP, I mean, good to see you again. I guess. What brings you here? Gabiru catches himself, realizing that he is still in the presence of his new master. Indeed, I am here on my duty to scout for new settlements to recruit for the upcoming battle, as agreed upon in the terms. It's good to see that the lizardmen are holding their end of the deal, although the personnel they send to perform this task seem to be rather crude. The ogre nonchalantly insults Gabiru, who can only seethe in anger, unable to think of a response. Ignoring the squabbling before me, am deep in thought. Eventually, I reach a satisfactory conclusion. Naruhodo. Then it's decided. Tonight's night spider will be served with garlic and vinegar sauce. I address my goblin subordinates, who immediately write down my orders on a notepad. Gabiru, the lizardmen, and the ogre all look at me in utter disbelief. What? While you guys were talking about trivial topics like the Orc Lord, I still have more important matters to attend to. Like tonight's banquet. After all, food comes first. Kua ha ha ha. Ignoring the absolute look of confusion on his face, I address Gabiru. From today onwards, you and your fellow lizardmen are my subordinates, and citizens of the Jura Tempest Empire. Gabiru bites his lip, if that is even possible for a lizardman, and nods. As such, I shall grant you all the honor of being named by me, Emperor Rimuru. A riveting speech, I must say. Wait a second, all of us. Gabiru sputters, while pointing at the small army of lizardmen that still hasn't moved since the beginning of our interaction. Surely, even for someone of your caliber, such a feat is impossible. Kua ha ha ha, little one, are you doubting me? Gabiru gulps and shakes his head. Very well, line up everyone, and prepare to get named. 2 hours later. And your name will be Vegeta Josuke Kamado V. The last lizardman in the line bows, kneels, and thanks me. Kua ha ha ha. Rimuru will definitely be proud of my naming skills. Once again, I praise myself for my genius, while ignoring the desperate cry for help from my other self in my stomach. I'm sorry, other me, but this is for the greater good. R. Rimuru Dono. The blue-haired ogre speaks from behind me, looking shell-shocked. Why, your power is truly terrifying. After witnessing that feat, I can say with confidence that you will be the one to defeat the Orc Lord. Kua ha ha ha. Yes, praise me more. I would like to ask you, if the chief permits it, to make us, the ogre clan, your subordinates as well. Ho? Another opportunity to expand my empire, I see. I readily agree to the ogre's offer, and I turn to address my newly named lizardman subordinates. Now, let me introduce myself again. I am your new emperor, Rimuru Tempest. You are now citizens of the Jura Tempest Empire, and you shall use the power granted to you by your names to serve the empire from now on. I deliver with passion a short speech that I definitely did not spend 30 minutes writing. We swear our loyalty to you, Lord Rimuru. Good to see that my subordinates have already accepted me as their master. Seems like they recognize my greatness. Kua ha ha ha. Now, Gabiru, as a side note, I also renamed Gabiru, like Rimuru did in the previous timeline. Although you are now my subordinate, you still hail from the Lizardman tribe. You'll be attending the conference as the representative of all the Lizardmen. Why yes, my lord. It is an honor, Gabiru quickly replies, and does a funny salute. After I arranged temporary lodgings for my new subordinates, which is something I definitely did myself, I proceeded to the conference room, where Kaijin, Rigard, both Riggers, Gabiru, and the blue-haired ogre were waiting. Once I take my seat, Rigard announces the start of the conference. I, Rigard, declare that the trilateral conference discussing the appearance of the Orc Lord, attended by the Ogre clan, the Lizardman tribe, and the Jura Tempest Empire, will now commence. All of the attending parties nod in confirmation. Very well, the Ogre speaks. I will start first. As you all know, an Orc Lord has appeared, and its existence is threatening all races living in the Jura Forest. Furthermore, the Orc Lord commands an army of around 200,000 orcs, fully equipped with armor and weapons. He looks around, before continuing. From my observation, the orcs are actively avoiding any highly populated settlements in their path, while trampling smaller settlements of races like kobolds and goblins. Right now, the orc army is traveling in a straight line from east to west, and is due to pass by the Lizardman tribe's territory soon. The ogre concludes his report, and nods to Gabiru. He nervously coughs, before standing up to speak. Ahem. The lizardmen are currently preparing for defensive warfare against the orcs. Our plan is to recruit other races to help in defending the... Gabiru is cut off by a flash of light, appearing in the middle of the room. Everyone in the room except for me takes a defensive stance, carefully watching as multiple vines sprout from the floor. The vines eventually wrap into a cocoon, which bursts to reveal a beautiful figure with green hair. I signal for everyone in the room to back down. I apologize for intruding, everyone. I am Trainee, the Dryad. This revelation elicits gasps of surprise from everyone in the room, except the great Veldora, of course. May I join this meeting? Third Pav. Sure, sit down, Trainee. Everyone turns to look at the host of the conference, Veldora Tempest. Certainly, no one in this room thinks lightly of him, but to address a Dryad so casually is an action no sane inhabitant of the Jura forest would do. Lord v. Rimuru. Trainee bites her tongue to prevent herself from revealing her lord's secret. Not that anyone in the room noticed, of course. They were all either too shocked, or preoccupied with daydreaming about manga. I congratulate you on your return, my lord. EHHH. Even the ogre, who has always acted in a stoic manner, drops his jaw to the floor. Seriously. Who is this guy? The first mean, my lord? Gabiruz almost yells out loud. Wait a second. Rimuru-sama, did the Dryad just call you her lord, Rigor? I asks in a shocked tone. Indeed, Rimuru-sama puts his hand up to his chin, as if in thought. It's pretty complicated right now, but yes, you could say that. He casually discloses, ignorant of just how absurd that statement is. Sasuga Rimuru-sama. Rigor too pipes up, doing a not very uncharacteristic sudden mood change. Now, Trainee's beautiful yet commanding voice attracts the attention of everyone in the room. If we have all calmed down, let's continue with the conference. Veldora nods to Trainee, and she continues. The lizardmen can rest assured, my sisters have already confirmed that the orc army has maneuvered around Lake Sis. Gabiru sighs a breath of relief, now assured that his people will not be attacked by the orcs. However, he once again tenses up with Trainee's next statement. The likely target of the orc army is this town. What? Veldora almost jumps out of his chair. Nanny. This wasn't supposed to happen. Veldora internally panics while desperately trying to remember that this did happen in the previous timeline. But of course it didn't. Trainee continues. This town is the only major settlement between Lake Sis and the Kingdom of Bloomond. Since the orcs have already abandoned Sis, it stands to reason that the only remaining target within the forest is Rimuru City. So you're saying that we should concentrate all of our forces in this town? The ogre asks. Indeed, the area surrounding the town is a great natural defense against invaders. We stand the highest chance of defeating the orcs if we use Rimuru City as a fortification, and if the orcs once again refuse to attack, then we can assume they have taken the human nations as their target. Veldora, who has stayed silent for most of the meeting, finally speaks. The orcs travel on foot, so they would take over a week to arrive from Lake Sis. In this time, we will use the Tempest Wolves to transport your strongest warriors here, since they can complete the journey to and from Lake Sis in 4 days. We should focus on taking only the strongest warriors, since we only have a limited amount we can move in 7 days. We also have 100 newly evolved Dragonoots, which we can use as messengers, or spies to observe the orc army. What a truly excellent plan, as expected of Rimuru-sama. The 3 hobgoblins cheered from behind Veldora. The blue-haired ogre sighs in relief, feeling that he is finally lifted from the burden of being the only messenger and spy. Meanwhile, Trainee is surprised that her usually aloof and slightly dim-witted lord is able to come up with such a plan. Veldora, satisfied with the praise he is receiving, beams with pride, while doing his classic 3-part laugh. Kua ha ha ha, indeed, my skills in planning and management have now become incredibly refined through my years of training. Veldora shouts, shamelessly ignoring the fact that he just recited what great sage had told him. Very well, then I will return to the ogre village to inform them of the plan. The ogre stands up and bows to Veldora. I will tell them to prepare an elite unit of our strongest warriors. I, too, shall return to the Lizardman tribe. The majority of the forces we have accumulated are positioned at Lake Sis, and I will inform them to prepare to depart. Gabiru declares in a loud voice, and bows to Veldora. Lord Rimuru, we, The Dryads will also support you in this war. Trainee kneels before Veldora. Kua ha ha ha. Excellent. Veldora booms. Very well, now that everything is set, let us proceed to the banquet. Thus, the meeting between the major powers in the Jura forest was prematurely adjourned by the request of a certain, hungry dragon. Good. Everything is going to plan. All of my pawns are in place to eliminate the target, and I am certain that I've avoided all uncertain factors in this plan. I've learned from my mistakes. I know exactly how he'll react to everything I do, and therefore, I know exactly how to lure him into a trap. I know exactly how strong he is, and exactly who are his subordinates. I can counter his every move, because I know how everything will turn out in the end. I've spent 7 decades meticulously crafting up this plan, and this time, I'll make sure to end this threat, once and for all. That's right, I will kill you this time, Rimuru Tempest.